out with. So you got to get rescue gloves at rescuegloves.com. And don't just get that. Don't just buy them like that. Get these for 50% off at rescuegloves.com. Use code FOX and get a second pair for free.
There are only a few men I'd trust with my life. Two of them built this wallet. I've known the guys behind Proof for nearly 20 years, and we've been through hell and back together. When they told me they were building the wallet, I just said, bill me now, I'm in. This isn't some fashion piece. This isn't just some trend. These wallets are a direct reflection of the kind of men who built it. It's built to last, built to function, and designed to carry everything you need and more. If anything happens to it, they'll take care of it. No questions, no fine print. If you knew the guys who created this wallet, you wouldn't carry anything else. Go check them out, because they built this thing right.
35 years ago, Riverbend Ranch set out to create beef that's better than Wagyu. We use the highest quality Angus cattle in the world. We think we've done it. Now you be the judge. Riverbend Ranch, real American beef.
Hi folks, I'm Lane Schoenberger, co-founder and chief investment officer of YRefi. You may have heard a lot about our company and seen people endorsing us. Today, I'd like to answer a few questions directly about our investment. Yes, it's true. Accredited investors can earn up to 10.25%, and all of our interest rates are fixed. It's also true that your interest is compounded daily, paid monthly, and can be taken as income or reinvested, whatever you choose. And yes, it's true. You can also spread your investment over terms from 1 to 5 years to best suit your needs. Would you like some more information? Just call 877-80-INVEST or log on to investYRefi.com. For complete details, review the private placement memorandum and scan this QR code to view the disclosures at your leisure. YRefi, investing in America's future.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Really?
Yeah. The right fit awaits. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hi, Mom. I can't wait for you to hear well again, so I won't have to scream to tell you that I love you.
Now tell me if you can hear this. Hi, Mom.
It's not just your hearing. For us, it's your life. That's why we created the Miracle Ear Way, offering unlimited care, including risk-free trials and free servicing to keep you connected with your loved ones at all times. Book a free test. Call 1-800-650-7799.
There have always been two kinds of people in the world. Those who worried about their investments, and those who chose some peace of mind. Smart investors hold gold.
Selling a car is a big deal. You've had some big moments. Okay, and some wrong turns. But when you're ready to sell, CarGurus is a big help. Get multiple offers instantly, so you choose the best deal. CarGurus, the #1 most visited car shopping site.
And welcome back to America's Newsroom. It's a busy day on Capitol Hill, and at any moment, Jay Clayton's Senate confirmation hearing is set to begin as he awaits his fate on becoming the next Director of National Intelligence, known as the DNI. His hearing is finally set to begin after President Trump originally pulled the plug on it in order to get Congress to pass the Save America Act. That is also still underway. And Chief Congressional Correspondent Chad Program is live on Capitol Hill. Hi, Chad.
Dana, good morning. The Senate hoped to confirm Jay Clayton as Director of National Intelligence weeks ago, but President Trump yanked Clayton from his confirmation hearing. He demanded that lawmakers pass the Save America Act first.
I believe that our voters are demanding that we pass the Save America Act. We've got to make sure the military is funded. So there are important things that we have to get done, and I hope to be supportive.
Congress was on the verge of reauthorizing the nation's top spy program. It's known as FISA Section 702. But Democrats pulled their support after the president installed housing czar Bill Pulte as acting DNI. Pulte lacks national security experience. With no FISA authorization, the GOP worries that the nation is vulnerable to a possible terrorist attack.
We're in uncharted waters right now. 702 is a critical national security tool. Everybody will tell you that. We shouldn't play games with 702. What you're trying to do is make a political statement, and you're doing it with the wrong tool at the wrong time. This was the wrong hostage to take.
It is believed that swift confirmation of Clayton by the Senate could unlock votes to pass FISA.
If he gets confirmed, is going to have a huge task on his hands of repairing relationships with Congress, ensuring me and others on both sides of the aisle that the FISA authority is being used lawfully, that American civil liberties and privacy and rights are being respected, because that just has not been done.
Now, the Senate would like to confirm Clayton as early as next week. House Republicans are now tying the Save America Act to a national security and State Department funding bill. Dana?
Gotcha. Thank you, Chad.
We're going to hit him very hard tonight. We're going to hit him very hard tomorrow night. We're going to hit him very hard the night after. We're beating them up really badly. They have to be beat up.
All right, there's Trey Ying sitting down with the president just yesterday, and that beating has started, and the first time we have daytime strikes up until now. It's only been at nighttime. And also along the Persian Gulf, there's a town here called Bampur. It's right around this area where you see this red dot. It's about 120 miles off the Gulf of Oman. There's an army barracks there that's been hit. Reportedly 7 troops killed on behalf of the Iranians. About 250 at a minimum were wounded. So also in the same area, this is where the blockade had been initiated for about a month and a half's time. And that's been put back into place yet again. Already we're hearing from CENTCOM that 2 commercial vessels have been rerouted since this began as of 4 o'clock local time yesterday. I want to bring in Dan Hoffman right now. Try and figure out what's happening now. There was another area hit, Dan, if I could. It's hard to pinpoint here. It's a tiny little island. It's called Tum, T-U-N-B, and that was struck as well. Remember, the Iranians consider these islands to be their own aircraft carriers. They sit in the Persian Gulf. They can be manned with military equipment. That was a target also. Do you believe this changes the course of anything right now, Dan?
Well, I think these are important tactical military successes, but Iran right now considers this battle over the Strait of Hormuz to be the center of gravity in their war against the United States. And I would just draw everyone's attention to the Iran-Iraq war in the 1980s, resulted in 8 years of fighting, over 1 million killed, and just a massive amount of destruction of Iran. And they've got a very high threshold for the pain that they're willing to inflict on their own citizens. This hardline regime, IRGC regime, has shown no indication that they're willing to negotiate. What they want to do is to continue to take on the United States. So I think tactical military strikes are certainly part of the answer. There are probably other things we might be thinking about doing, perhaps non-belligerent nations escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz, perhaps even decapitation strikes. I think the president is listening very carefully to his intelligence community for reflections on the impact of these strikes and considering other options to try to induce Iran to change their behavior.
In the afternoon, Axios reported yesterday they went inside the Situation Room. Don't know what came of that. Maybe we'll learn a little more today when the president is in Pennsylvania with a lot of members of his staff and military staff there. Meanwhile, back to this interview that Trey had yesterday. There are nuclear sites that have been targets on behalf of the Israelis and the Americans. One is called Pickaxe Mountain. I don't know how significant it is today, but here was the question and the answer that came yesterday.
Weapons experts say that the United States doesn't have the ability to strike deep enough with these bunker buster bombs at Pickaxe Mountain.
They can go deep. We have good stuff. Nobody knows about Pickaxe. By the way, nobody knows if they even are doing anything in Pickaxe. It's just something that comes up. We have cameras on it. There's very little activity there. But if there's even just a small amount, we'll hit it, and we'll hit it hard.
Okay, I want you to answer that. And also, I was listening to your first answer, and that matches up with what the Institute of Study of War is saying right now about Iran. Here we go. Iran retains the ability and willingness to attack commercial shipping, despite recent U.S. strikes on Iran. The threshold, you use that word, Dan, the threshold for Iran to be able to disrupt shipping in the Strait remains low, however. Can you interpret all of that? Pickaxe and what ISW is saying.
Yeah, so first of all, Iran can continue to use their asymmetric capabilities to disrupt the Strait of Hormuz, traffic through the Strait. They're launching drones from deep inside their own territory, and that's a challenge for us to find those locations from where they're launching. As for Pickaxe Mountain, look, the Trump administration gave Iran every opportunity to negotiate a deal on Iran's nuclear weapons, their ballistic missiles, their support to proxy terrorists, and Iran has rejected those offers. There were significant opportunities for Iran to grow economically and build out their economy, but they chose not to do that. If they don't want to do that, that leaves us no other option than to continue to strike Iran's weapons of mass destruction. That's their nuclear sites and their ballistic missile sites, the drone sites, and continue to take the fight to their proxy terrorists. We've seen what Israel has done to Hamas and Hezbollah, and I would expect all of that to continue if we don't get to the place where we can have negotiations with Iran, and right now we're not there.
Okay, Dan, thank you. Dan Hoffman, we'll talk real soon, okay? This is an active story ongoing as we speak at this hour. Thank you, Dan. Dana.
And another active story is Todd Blanche, the president's acting attorney general. He is testifying now on the Hill.
Senator Durbin said a minute ago, I would like to offer each of you my condolences for the loss of your colleague, Senator Graham. He was a patriot and a friend to so many of us. It's a loss for the American people, and I think honoring him today, and as he's been honored for the past several days, is the right thing to do. 17 months ago, I sat at this table as the nominee to be the Deputy Attorney General, and I told you that serving in the Department of Justice was my American dream. Since then, I've helped lead it, first as deputy and now as acting Attorney General, and I'm here today to earn your trust once more. I've lived the American dream. I waited tables to get through college, moved to New York with my wife and 2 young kids, went to law school at night, read textbooks on the late train home while I worked days as a paralegal at the U.S. Attorney's Office. From that start, I became a prosecutor and spent 9 years prosecuting violent gangs and drug dealers. I rose through the ranks of the Department of Justice as a line prosecutor, then a division chief, then, as of last year, Deputy Attorney General, and now Acting Attorney General. But I did not take that path for a title. I took it to make a difference for American families and the towns they call home. I am exceedingly grateful to President Trump for his trust, and to my family who have carried me through every long day and late night. My wife, Christine, our wonderful children, Sydney and Justin, my granddaughter, Blaine, who's here today. All of them are here today. My wonderful friends, many of whom are here today, are really what make this worth it and what gets me through my days. And so I want to thank them for not only being here today and supporting me, but also being with me every step of the way in the journey that we're on together. My family's blessings should be available to all Americans. When a family can send their kids to school, walk their neighborhood after dark, and build a life without fear, every promise of the American dream is within reach. When they cannot, none of it is. That's my job, securing safety for every American. I'm pleased to testify again today to tell everybody here that we are doing just that. We are keeping America safe. Since President Trump took office, it's been said a few times this morning already, but it bears repeating. Murders are down roughly 20% nationwide. We have the lowest murder rate since 1900. Violent crime arrests are up nearly 114%. We've taken almost 5,000 child predators and human traffickers off the streets. And the Department of Justice has filed nearly 100,000 indictments and informations since January 20th, 2025. Additionally, in just the last 4 weeks, in just the last month, we've paid $96 million in claims through the Public Safety Officers Benefits Program to eligible surviving families of fallen public safety officers, even while fewer law enforcement officers were killed in the line of duty than the prior years. And obviously, these are not just numbers. Each one is a family that still has its son or daughter and an officer who came home for dinner. If you look at Washington and Memphis as examples, where we have worked with federal, state, and local partners, pulling thousands of criminals off the streets in those 2 cities. Homicides in DC are down about 60%, and overall crime in Memphis declined by more than 40%. We've seized thousands of illegal guns, brought more than 150 missing children home in those two cities, and cleaned up parks and spaces family once avoided, so you can take your kids and loved ones there once again. We are enforcing our borders. We are prosecuting the smugglers who profited from an open border, removing criminal aliens, and dismantling gangs like MS-13 and TDA. We're smashing the cartels and ending the scourge of drugs in our communities. We designated the major cartels as foreign terrorist organizations because that's exactly what they are. And we're using every tool that unlocked: narco-terrorism charges, forfeiture, and extraditions. Dozens of cartel leaders are now in American custody. Drug seizures are skyrocketing, and overdose deaths are finally falling. We are protecting taxpayers. Last year, the department brought the largest healthcare fraud takedown in American history, more than $14 billion, and another $11 billion in total fraud in just the last 3 months. That's money stolen from the fisc, stolen from Medicare, from seniors, working families, and we're clawing it back. We're doing all of this, I will add, through partnership. Federal agents, state troopers, county sheriffs, local officers, and state attorneys general in your home states, all pulling in the same direction. That is what happens when we fight crime together, and I want to bring that model that we've done in a few towns to more communities in every state. Above all, we are restoring American trust. In recent years, we watched the Justice Department turned against many of you and a former president, and it damaged the public's faith in justice. We are fixing that. Members of this committee on both sides have fair questions about the hard debates of the past year, and I welcome them. I'm proud of what we've done to help American families see safer streets and to have a fair shot at the life they're working to build. None of this is a Republican or Democrat issue. Every senator here has constituents who just want to be safe. The men and women of this department are the finest people I have ever worked with, and leading them is the honor of my professional life. We are keeping America safe, and we are just getting started. I love this country. I love the Department of Justice. Thank you very much, Chairman, for the opportunity to appear before this committee today, and I look forward to answering your questions. Thank you.
Thank you for that testimony, and we'll now have our 10-minute rounds of questioning. I'll start, and then Senator from Illinois. I've long been concerned about concentration and anti-competitive conduct in healthcare technology, but particularly in agriculture. Family farmers deserve fair prices. I held a hearing on anti-competitive activities in this committee last October on the subject of agriculture. As I recall, as a result of that hearing, the president issued an executive order and an investigation was started in your department. And I've sensed some pause in that right now. So if confirmed, do you have a commitment that the Justice Department will make antitrust enforcement a priority? And since I think there aren't too many people in the Justice Department know much about agriculture, with some concentration on agriculture.
Chairman, absolutely. You're right. President Trump issued an executive order. I have worked already closely with Secretary Rollins on this very issue. We recently held a press conference announcing some of the work that we're doing to not only deal with the anti-competitive behavior that we've seen, but also to help ease prices in the cattle market around the country. So yes, Chairman, I commit to that.
Yeah. Our committee has received a lot of outreach about the department's litigation position in Louisiana versus FDA. The plaintiffs in this case challenged the relaxed regulation governing mail-order abortion drugs. Can you tell the committee about this case and explain what the department's doing?
All right, so you are listening to the hearing where Todd Blanche, the acting attorney general, is testifying because he would like to get confirmed to be the full attorney general. The president is obviously strongly behind him. This hearing could go on for about 3.5 hours. Just getting started with Chuck Grassley starting the questioning.
There could be some contentious moments, so we're going to watch it for you and bring you headlines as soon as they happen inside that hearing room. In the meantime, we've got some other big news to get to.
It's a target-rich environment, they say. Also, this ICE telling Fox News that it is pausing most traffic stops nationwide. So this happened after a pair of deadly ICE-involved shootings. President Trump says ICE cannot give up the practice, calling it one of the agency's most effective tools. Border czar Tom Homan says the pause is not permanent.
It's not a policy change. It's a temporary pause. ICE leadership, along with DHS, believes they want to look at these last couple incidents and look, is there something that could have been done better? Is there any training that can be improved? Or it's simply ICE doing their job and bad things happen when people don't comply with law enforcement officers.
And Alexis McAdams has more from our New York newsroom. Good morning, Alexis.
Dana, good morning. Well, President Trump said today that ICE traffic stops will continue on his watch. And border czar Tom Homan tells Fox arrests will also continue as agents have a wide range of tactics.
I hear a lot of noise right now. This is going to affect ICE arrests, and it's not going to. Look, I've done this for a long time. You can, when that alien leaves his home before he gets into the car, you can arrest him then. You can wait till the vehicle gets to the destination and arrest him then. Every case is different.
President Trump calling the traffic stop one of the agency's most effective crime-fighting tools, saying without it, ICE would play right into the criminals' hands. DHS says agents use these stops, Dana, in the first place to make immigration arrests because you don't need a judicial warrant. That's why it's one of their top tactics. The debate follows 2 fatal ICE-involved shootings in less than a week, including one in Maine on Monday. Federal officials identified the man killed as a 25-year-old Colombian national. Immigration advocates also say he was legally authorized to work in the United States. DHS tells Fox he was not the target of the operation. Back here in the newsroom, it's something we'll continue to keep an eye on, and it will probably be front and center in the upcoming Senate race there in Maine, Dana.
Right. Alexis McAdams, thank you. A lot going on, and we appreciate the story.
Yeah, I want to bring in former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf for the conversation. Chad, good morning to you. Thanks for being here. Just listening to Tom Homan describe that when he was on the Will Cain show with Griff there, a temporary pause. Help us understand that and define it.
Yeah, look, what Secretary Mullen's probably doing is looking at the procedures for those vehicle stops. So he's put in a temporary pause, probably going to revise those procedures, get some more training, and then resume those stops. Look, vehicle stops are very important in the ICE mission and how they do it. They're some of the most, from a officer standpoint, safety, really, really important. Very easy to do those stops versus going into a house, going into a neighborhood, and some of the other places that they pick up folks. But I think what's really important here, Bill, is that the left for some time has been trying to get sensitive locations included into ICE, saying that they can't go into these facilities, can't go into churches, into schools, into courthouses, and things of that nature. I'm sure now they'll say you can't pick up an illegal alien if they're in a vehicle. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. And so the temporary pause aspect of this is really important.
Okay, so 30 seconds left here. Democrats are getting a lot of, for lack of a better word, ammunition now in this argument. And they are really fired up across the board about this. Why not more body cameras? Would you support that? Would that solve some of these issues now?
Well, I do support it, and DHS supports it. And they've gotten money now from Congress to outfit all of the body cameras, but they were shut down, right, for over 75 days. And so you have to procure the body cameras. You have to outfit them. You have to put policy in place. How much retention are you going to put on the video that you capture? There's a lot of stuff that has to go on there, and the Democrats shut it down for over 70 days.
Okay, Chet, thank you. Temporary pause. We'll see what that means and how that's carried out in America next. Chad, thanks. We got to run. We got more news with Dana now.
And we have 2 big hearings on Capitol Hill. President Trump's nominees for Attorney General and Director of National Intelligence both testifying. What we're watching for as all of this unfolds.
At Farmers, honesty is our policy. We're all about transparency and giving it to you straight.
now in pink.
We own pink now, but we sort of went too far.
It means coverage with no jargon, big words, or lawyer needed to understand it.
Forget those readers, we don't hide behind fine print.
It's finding new options, even if it's not with us.
Wait, we do that. Way to keep it 100.
Oh yeah, we do that. And that's why you don't have insurance.
You have farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
There's no place like home. New Day Home, a breakthrough program from New Day USA that helps the brave men and women who protected our American dream have their own American dream. As chairman of New Day USA and a fellow veteran, Admiral Tom Lynch is on a mission to help 1 million veteran families buy homes of their own. With New Day Home, your service is your down payment, and you won't need to spend a single dollar for closing costs. Not a single dollar, period.
If we can possibly get that veteran a home, we're going to do it at New Day USA.
Call New Day for your Admiral certified agent and VA loan approval in minutes. 1-888-605-0547.
Welcome to Fitting In. Welcome to Standing Out. Welcome to A Helping Hand. Welcome to the world of Mercedes-Benz. Experience the incomparable luxury and tech for yourself with great offers on the GLC during the Welcome Home celebration.
This is the true story of Alex. Recently promoted, he was earning more, but investing for the future, I definitely needed a plan. With his advisor, Dennis, Alex invested his savings into 3 accounts. One for now, one for later, and of course, his retirement. A plan in motion put the future in focus. The wedding, the barn-dominium, kids. Maybe kids. The point here, Alex has more than big goals for his future. He's got a plan to get there. JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Generalized myasthenia gravis is the challenge you can't plan for. But our game plan, talk to our doctors about adding Vyvgart or Vyvgart Hytrulo.
Both can improve daily abilities and reduce muscle weakness, so we can do more with our days.
I could self-inject at home, or my home away from home, with the Vyvgart Hytrulo pre-filled syringe.
Don't use if allergic to their ingredients. They can increase risk of infection and serious allergic, infusion, or injection-related reactions. Get help right away if you have rash, hives, swelling of the face, lips, throat, or tongue, breathing problems, low blood pressure, or fainting. Tell your doctor if you have infection or fever, high blood pressure, chills or shivering, chest, stomach, or back pain, vaccinations, allergies, or kidney problems. Most common side effects include respiratory and urinary tract infections, headache, as well as injection site reactions for Vyvgart Hytrulo.
I talked to my doctor about treatment my way.
We all did. Ask your neurologist about Vyvgart.
When you're hot, nothing feels better than the gentle cooling breeze of a ceiling fan. This is Socket Breeze by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light literally takes 10 seconds to install. Socket Breeze fits any standard light socket. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can screw in the Socket Breeze light. With a push of a button, you can control the light and the breeze that you need. Get your Socket Breeze at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, or on Amazon.
You've put up with your old shower for too long. It's outdated, unsafe, and it's time to replace it. But why struggle with a lengthy shower remodel when Jacuzzi can do it in just one day? And there's no need to break a sweat or your budget.
Right now, we're waiving all installation costs, plus offering 0 interest and 0 payments for up to 1 year.
So you can finally convert your old bath to a safer, easy entry shower, complete with a custom seat, grab bars, and slip-resistant floor installed in 1 day.
My overall experience with Jacuzzi has been wonderful. Everything was customized to the way I wanted it for the price that I wanted to pay.
I've had a great experience from start to finish.
Don't take matters into your own hands. Do it the smart way. Give Jacuzzi Bath Remodel a call.
There are only weeks remaining during our limited time offer. We're waiving all installation costs and offering no interest and no payments for up to 1 year. Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or call 800-538-1261.
Today on Fox, the World Cup semifinals continue as Jude Bellingham in England take on the reigning world champions, Messi in Argentina. The World Cup semifinals today on Fox.
And a major escalation in the Middle East, U.S. Central Command launching another wave of strikes against Iran, but this time during the day. Making a big change from earlier barrages, and that happened only at night before. So welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Dana Perino. I think my mouth is going to
It's gonna work.
Here,
I mean, it's
here we
still
go.
early, right?
I mean, my brain's a little faster than my mouth sometimes.
Dig it. Morning, Dana. I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning at home. Thanks for being with us today. You got the battle for the control of the Strait of Hormuz appearing to intensify yet again. So the U.S. ramping up its retaliation after Iran earlier in the week targeted several commercial ships in that strategic waterway and its refusal to come to the negotiating table.
All this as President Trump sits down with Trey Yingst in a wide-ranging interview talking about foreign policy. And Trey is with us live. He's in Washington. Good morning, Trey.
Yeah, Dana, good morning. This morning, U.S. Central Command announced a new wave of strikes against the Iranian regime, going after targets near the Strait of Hormuz, rare daytime strikes. As the president told Fox News, these strikes will intensify and expand next week. Here's what he said is next on the list of targets.
Next week comes the power plants. Next week comes the bridges. We're going to knock out all their power plants. We're going to knock out all their bridges, unless they get to the table and negotiate.
Do you believe the Iranians are serious about making a deal?
I think they have no choice.
Why haven't they yet?
I think if I didn't do the way I'm doing, they would never make a deal.
The U.S. blockade of Iranian ports is back in place. It's being enforced by the U.S. Navy as these strikes are taking place along the coast. The president told Fox News the Strait of Hormuz remains open. Here's what he had to say. Shipping data trackers indicate that just 10 vessels passed through the Strait of Hormuz on Monday, less than 10% of what normally goes through this critical waterway. When you say the strait is open, what do you mean?
It's open if people want to go through it. We're not opening it for Iran. That's the only one it's closed for. It's closed for Iran both in and out. People are finding now that there are alternatives to the Strait of Hormuz. And it's pretty amazing. You saw the line of boats going up to Texas about 2 weeks ago when it was actually closed. It looked like the Long Island Expressway for ships. There are pipelines being built right now all over the place. It's going to be doing less business in the future than it used to.
In the interview with Fox News, President Trump left open the possibility of a limited ground operation in the future. He also didn't rule out seizing Karg Island if the conditions were right. Dana?
All right, Trey Yingst, thank you, and congrats on the interview.
John Fozzie Miller of the U.S. Navy with us now, retired commander of the U.S. Fifth Fleet. You know the area very well, Bahrain especially, Persian Gulf. Does this begin to change the course of this conflict or not?
Good morning, Bill. Thanks for having me. I do think it's starting to change the course of the conflict here. We've been in this sort of tit-for-tat exchange with the Iranians for several weeks now. That really plays to their advantages, not to ours. And so I think expanded strikes on the part of the U.S. going after Iranian centers of gravity, things that the regime needs to stay in power, ways that they can make money are the road ahead that we have chosen, and it's the road ahead that we have to be on. So we're going to have to continue to impose a cost every time Iran interdicts a ship inside the Strait of Hormuz, every time they attack one of their neighbors or our military facilities that are located around the region.
Sir, could you help our audience and me, maybe Bill already knows, but understand more about why this shift, and now today you see attacks during the day rather than usually they happen overnight?
Well, we like to attack at night because we really control the night skies. We have the equipment that allows us to operate at night just as effectively as we can do in the daytime. But given the situation in Iran, their lack of air defenses, their inability to interdict any sort of airstrikes, it doesn't matter if we attack day or night. And in fact, we probably ought to be in a position right now to be attacking day and night so that there is no period of day where the Iranians feel like they're safe. They should understand that at any moment